We just do the shirts. I want to say.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. Like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Hello and welcome to our Sunday NFL pregame show on the ASAP Network. Today we are joined by our man Landon. How you doing, young gun?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Could be a little bit better, but hey, that's life. And then we're also joined by our one of our other colleagues, Mr. Conman himself, the historian. Michael, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing rather well, man. How you guys doing? I hope everything's going good.
Yeah, doing good. And Mess Around is out on personal, so we'll get him back next week. So before we get started, Landon, how do we get away a free T-shirt today? Or this month, I should say.
Share, like our streams. You can be entered to win Viewer of the Month. When you win Viewer of the Month, we'll send you out your very own T-shirt. It's pretty easy. You just got to comment, and we'll tally it down and see at the end of the month who wins that T-shirt.
Yep, and if they don't like to comment or don't think it'll be read or whatever reason, Landon, how can they get a shirt? Uh-oh, did Landon freeze? Okay, so we're good?
This video is jumping around in the timeline a little bit, but it's the next day, okay? And
all right.
There I am.
All right. Okay. Little technical difficulties. All right, Landon. So explain how they can get that T-shirt there.
You can contact anybody from the network and pay $14.99 plus shipping and handling, and we can send you out your very own T-shirt. Size go from small to 2XL, as you see there. It's a pretty good deal. We can send it out to you pretty quick. You just got to contact anybody.
All right. With that being said, let's get into some football action with the big games we had yesterday. So, all right, let's break down the first game we had. All right. We got the Rams versus the Packers. And it looks like we all went Green Bay. So, Conman, what's your thoughts on that game?
Well, first of all, I felt bad for Donald, with his rib situation. He wasn't at 100%. I don't think that made that much of a difference. I think that Green Bay definitely came out to play. Aaron Rodgers shown why he will be the MVP of the season this year. And Green Bay looked pretty good. I got them going to the Super Bowl, so I think Green Bay played very well. Unfortunately, LA did not come to play the way that most people felt that they would be able to play, and Green Bay got the best of them.
Okay. Mr. Landon, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, this game, I honestly didn't expect it to be this far apart. It says Packers there because it was the Packers at the time, but then I was going back and forth. I didn't know if I wanted to pick the Rams because their defense was so good. But, either way, that defense did not come out to play. I mean, we don't know what to expect from that defense after this game. But I'll give it to them. They weren't 100%. They had a lot of injuries. They were beaten up. Jared Goff, his thumb. Aaron Donald, his ribs. But I think if this team's 100% healthy, then they're good. And When they're healthy, they can be a Super Bowl team, I think.
Yeah, I get that, and always going to Lambeau Field over the years, it's always been tough to play fans or no fans, no matter what Packer team shows up. But yeah, with Donald being hurt, the defense kind of took a step back a little bit. So, but yeah, Rodgers did what Rodgers does, and it seems like they got a somewhat of a running game going. So, that's going to help them in the long run. So, all right. So on to the next game was the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. Again, it looks like we're on the winning side of that one. So Landon, why don't you break that one down first there?
The score does not show how this game went. I mean, the Bills destroyed the Ravens. They stopped Lamar Jackson. He got hurt in the fourth quarter, but they stopped Lamar Jackson, and that's why they won. If you can stop him, you can beat this team by 10 plus.
Okay. Mr. Conman.
Yeah, I have Buffalo. I think that, they obviously did their homework on Lamar Jackson. He had a real bad game. He had a real tough game. Threw some that interception really was costly, and that kind of changed the tide around for Buffalo. Buffalo is really good this year. They got a good running game. They got Diggs playing well. The quarterback Josh Allen is phenomenal. Buffalo, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. They came on. They played very, very well. Baltimore, they need some work. They know what they need to do. Will they be able to make those changes to benefit them next year? I don't know. But Buffalo definitely came out to play. And, again, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I didn't catch much of the game due to work, but when I looked up and had a chance to see it, it just seemed like neither team was really wanting to take control of the game until the interception that, to me, was kind of a risky move on the player to jump out on the end zone and take it to the house. But it was a cool play to see. I mean, there's too many guys around when he caught it, but 101 yards. What can you say? Probably most decided play last night in that game. So I got the Bills. I mean, I think they can make a serious run to the Super Bowl. So it'd be nice to see them do it first time since the early '90s. So anyway, so on to today's games. We got some good matchups today. The Cleveland Browns versus the number 1 seeded Kansas City Chiefs. Landon, what is your pick for today?
I got Kansas City in this one. Their offense is just way too overpowered. Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, they're really good. But I think it'll be closer than people expect. The Chiefs don't have a good running defense, and we all know that the Browns, that's what they do. They run the ball. So, but I got the Chiefs in a pretty high-scoring one here.
Okay. Mr. Conman.
Oh, I got to go against my man, Landon. I got to go against my guy. As I was stating the other day, it is so difficult to repeat. And Kansas City right now, I'm sure you guys are well aware, they haven't won by double figures since week 8. Their offense has been stymied a little bit. And the fact is they're favored by 9.5. I think that's way too high. Also, yeah. So, 9.5. Sammy Watkins is out for this game. So is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think that's going to make a major difference in how Kansas City plays also. And the fact is, if my man Mayfield can control the ball, the running game, keep the ball out of Mahomes' hand, they got a great chance of winning. And I'm definitely going to go Cleveland 24, KC 20.
Ooh.
Big upset. Watch. Y'all heard it here first.
Yeah, that will be a one. I'm kind of back and forth on this a little bit. I think Conman said it the best is, if the Browns can manage the clock and keep Mahomes off the field, they got a great chance of winning. That running game is phenomenal, but I just think Kansas City has too many weapons right now. So I'm going Kansas City, but I think it's going to be close. It would not shock me one bit if Cleveland does win this game, though. But yeah, I got it. I can see 24-20. Last second drive either way. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll be talking about this one. I think for sure next week or something. So, all right. Let's move on to the other big game we got today. The Bucks versus the Saints, old school versus old school. So, Landon, do you even know either of these quarterbacks? I mean, you're the young guy, so
Yeah.
all right. What do you got? What do you got today, bud?
This is going to be a good game. I think these seedings are terrible. I think Tampa's a better team, so I'm going to take Tampa in this one. I don't think you can turn against Tom Brady in the playoffs. We all know that. He's got all those weapons. He's got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Cameron Brate's been playing really good lately, so I think that this team will go on to win this game for sure.
Okay. All right. Godman, Michael, what are your thoughts?
Well, New Orleans beat Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay 38-3, but this is a different Tampa Bay team than it was at the beginning of the year. Tampa Bay, I think they're playing on all cylinders right now. They do have a good running game. We all know about their offensive weapons as well, and they have a really good run defense. And, of course, I'm going to leave them last but not least. They got that guy, Tom Brady. That guy, Tom Brady, we all know how he is. We know he's going to be very well prepared for whatever New Orleans can throw at him. I have to roll with Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is going to win 27-23, and I think Breeze may be going off into the sunset.
All right. So I believe I'm the lone wolf on this one. I'm going with the Saints.
Whoa!
Yeah, after thinking about it, it was one of those. They played them twice this year, and typically it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yes.
So I wasn't even thinking of that, but I think the Saints are still a tough team in the playoffs, and so Tom Brady is too. This one could be probably the game of the weekend. I mean,
100%. It's going to be a
I
very
think so. Yes. Looking forward to this game. I am looking forward.
Yeah. I mean, the Saints are out with Hill, I believe, and the Bucks are without Jones. I believe was the final reports I saw.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I think it'll still be close. But it'll be. I think the Saints will come on top. Probably depends on who has the ball last. I mean, so. But yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that big game. It should be a nice one. So.
If I can interject one thing, we know if the game is really close, we know who's the man under 2 minutes. We already know who that is. So if it comes down to the wire, and if my man's got the ball, it's a wrap.
Listen, I'm going to say one thing. It's going to be my hot take, okay?
Okay.
Whoever wins this game is going to the Super Bowl. I think they can beat the Packers. I mean, Tampa blew out the Packers. And I got Tampa winning this game, so I got Tampa going to the Super Bowl. That's my hot take.
All right.
Okay, I like that.
So about 13 minutes and 30 seconds into the show, mark it. Landon's got the winner of this game. The Bucks going to the Super Bowl. So, all right. That's definitely a big hot take there. So, all right. So so that wraps up the playoff talk. So, Nate, let's bring up that next slide there. All right. So, of course, we know it happens every year. Coaches get let go. New hires are starting. So, let's start with the first one there. Adam Gase gets replaced by former offensive coordinator Rob Slee. So, Landon, what do you think? Okay. So, Landon, what's your thoughts on that move?
I'm surprised Adam Gase made it through the season, to be honest. I think he should have been fired early on. But, 49ers defensive coordinator, he's really good. I mean, that team's defense was insane when they made the Super Bowl last year. So hopefully this takes the Jets. I like seeing the underdogs win. That's why I'm going for the Browns today. But hopefully the Jets can do something and get back up to speed. They got a high draft pick this year, but we'll talk about that later. But
Yep.
hopefully, this can make a whole change in this organization.
Okay. Michael, what do you got?
Well, first of all, I'm going to agree with Landon. Gase probably should have been fired when he did that press conference. We won't talk about that. But anyway, the Soleil is a good hire. He has 16 years experience, and even though the Jets are coming off a 2-14 season, I think all depends on who the coaches he gets. Right now, he's looking into getting a guy named Mike LaFleur as an offensive coordinator. That's going to help him out. He also needs some help with the offensive line coaching, and they also have $70 million in salary cap space. So depending upon what they do with the $70 million salary cap space and knowing what the needs are, and like Landon said, they get a good pick. They get a good pick. So I think they're in good hands. I think the Jets, they got a long way to go, but I think that was a good hire. Adam Gates needed to go. Gates needed to go. So it was a good hire.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Gay should have been fired, a while ago. I don't know how he lasted so long. But do you think the Jets were kind of throwing a curve when Harbaugh went back to Michigan? Because I know him and the GM are pretty close. So I think he was supposed to be the leading candidate, but he went back to Michigan. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Jets do with this new guy and his coaches and all the moves they make. So yeah, it'll be exciting to see. But right now, I'm going to skip the second one. So the other two, Lynn and Peterson, both out of the Chargers job and the Phillies job. Michael, what do you think on that one on those moves right now? Who could be landing there?
That's a very, very good question. First of all, Lynn, they had so many opportunities, and for them to go 7-9, they blew so many numerous double-digit leads. I really don't know who is in their game plan, but he had to go. It's unfortunate that he had to go, but he was given opportunities, and I think he lost. I think he lost the locker room. I really think he lost the locker room, blowing so many numerous double-digit leads. That's coaching. Turnovers, mistakes, that is absolute coaching, and he needed to go. So it'll be interesting to see who they're going to get.
All right, Landon, what are your thoughts there?
I don't know. Anthony Lynn, I think he could have had another year simply because he had Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen, who's playing fantastic. And I think they should have gave him another year just to see what he can do with that. And, if he couldn't make it work with that, then they need to get him out of there. But I would have gave him another year if it was up to me.
I'd go with that.
Yeah, I was actually kind of shocked about Lynn letting go. I'm with Landon. I think they could have given him another year. You had a rookie quarterback that wasn't expected to play much this year, ended up playing most of the season, if not all of it, I think. And, probably the rookie of the year, if it's not him. And I don't know who else it could be. But so what's your guys' thoughts on Peterson there? Pedersen, Landon, what do you think?
This is, again, just exactly with Anthony Lynn. I think he should have had another year because I'm sure it all came down to that Week 17 polling of Jalen Hurts. But he's looking at that OC job in Seattle, and I'm fine with that. But if non-biased standpoint, I think this was a terrible, terrible decision. I think they should have kept him. Maybe fired some different coaching, maybe some front office, but I don't agree with Doug Peterson getting fired here. I think that he made a 4-11-1, right? That was their record. That record out of a dumpster fire team. He had Carson Wentz playing, who just wasn't playing like he should be playing. And then he brought Jalen Hurts and played fantastic. So I would have gave him another year as well, just to see what he could do with Jalen Hurts. And then they're probably going to get a receiver in the draft this year. So that's what I would have done.
All right. Michael, anything to add to that?
Well, I agree with Landon. Pearson, he ended up with a 42-37 record. Not too shabby. I think he probably should have been given another year also. I do agree with that. But he is going. Well, he's been up to be a coach with the Seahawks along with Lynn. They're both interviewing for the job, which is kind of interesting, by the way. But for Peterson, he's familiar with the West Coast offense, and I think that if he can get along with Carroll, if he can, go take that step from being a head coach to being assistant coach, I think it's going to bid well for him, and it's going to be bid well for the Seahawks. And I think that unfortunately he was let go probably a year too early, but he's going to fall right back. He's going to be right back on track with Seattle Seahawks and their offensive team.
Yeah, I won't say I'm too shocked about it, but another year, yeah, probably would have been nice. But I mean, like you guys said, the Seahawks were kind of all right now, so maybe the best move was to let him go. Maybe it had to do with the Week 17 pulling of Hurts. We're never going to know the true answer. I mean,
right.
But is there any other coaching vacancies that you guys heard of? Any leading candidates for, or somebody that you think should get a shot? Landon, what do you think?
I mean, I don't know of anybody.
Okay.
It's just too early to know. I mean, I'm sure we'll see names pop up here soon because they need to have a coach to go into the offseason. So I'm sure names will start popping up here soon. But as of now, I have no idea.
Okay. Cartman, any names that you heard in any job, I guess, really, not just the Philly job, but any names you've heard that pop up that could be for coaching?
I think right now what they're going to do is they're going to wait. They're going to wait. And then I would say probably within another couple of weeks, the names will be coming out. But right now, I don't think there's anybody out there right now. But they got their names. They've already done their homework. They've already done what they have in store, what they have in mind for who they want to get. But they just haven't put it out publicly yet. But give it a couple of weeks. Oh, yeah, it'll be up there, without question.
Well, yeah, they're probably, again, waiting for some playoff teams to bounce out so they can interview and stuff.
Exactly.
So,
and something? They don't want to let it out the bag before it comes to reality. So they're going to hold things close to the chest.
So a name that comes to mind for me, and I think he's kind of gone away, and I actually don't even know where he's at right now. But ever since he left the Niners, Mike Singletary, I haven't heard his name anywhere. I don't even know if he's still coaching, but I thought he did a pretty decent job in San Fran before they let him go. So I'm kind of surprised his name hasn't popped up anywhere.
Well, you know something? You know what happens a lot, and definitely in the NBA, it's almost like coaches get fired, and the same ones that get fired get rehired. It's like a little circle. But the same ones, it's like they keep getting funneled in and then they got those like Singletary who just can't get a shot. It's tough. I mean, I saw his documentary. He did his homework. He learned from his mistakes. He went and studied a lot harder because he wanted to be able to get that head coaching job. But I guess at the end of the day, it's who you know and who wants you and who's going to be willing to take another chance. Tough call, man.
Exactly.
Tough call.
Exactly. So, any final thoughts there on coaching hires there, Landon or Michael? Anything?
Well, Urban Meyer, do y'all think that's a good hire?
Oh, yeah, Urban Meyer. I'm sorry. Yes. Urban Meyer to Jacksonville. I wanted to touch on that. So, all right, Michael, go ahead. Let's break that one down.
Well, I think it's a tremendous hire. Urban Meyer, he has his resume. We all know what his resume is like. He had that little medical issue beforehand, but I think by him being away from the game has helped him have a new look, a new outlook. Plus, he'd be going back home, his old stomping grounds. I think it's a great hire. He's a proven leader. He's going to provide stability. Like I say, he has time to reflect, and he's going to make a difference. I think, he did some reflecting on himself, and I think he's going to come back a lot better and knowing the game and appreciating the game a little bit more than when he did before. And I think he got a little bit of humble pie. I think he's going to come back strong, and he's going to be very effective. And I definitely think that's a good hire.
All right. How about you, Landon?
I disagree. I think this is a terrible hire simply because
Ooh.
I love it.
he doesn't like to go through adversity. Okay, he doesn't like to struggle. We saw that in Ohio State, and his heart started hurting, so they got rid of him. Got Ryan Day. They're winning again, but he's going to Jacksonville. We all know what happened there. It's terrible, and they'll have 2-3 losing seasons, and his heart will hurt again. And I don't know, it's real as a mistake, but it'll happen. And he'll get tired and go leave. That's what's going to happen. He doesn't like to face adversity. He doesn't like to grow from the bottom. He just likes to be put in a situation where he's going to be the best team, in the league, and it's just not going to happen. He's at the Jacksonville Jags, so that's what I think will happen. I think it's a terrible hire.
Yeah, so I see you're kind of agreeing with Will there. I saw his comment. I don't know, actually. Time will tell. I mean, yeah, I know he's had his issues, and I kind of like Landon's take, though. He likes to be at the top and take the credit, but he doesn't want to work for it, it seems like. So I get that. And definitely Jacksonville's not the place for a coach like that. But, again, Urban Meyer, big name. We'll see what he does. I mean, he's got a lot of assets this coming up draft, and we'll see if he can turn them around. And he's got, 5 years, I think? What's the contract? Yeah. So
he won't last. Guarantee
All right. Landon with the hot takes today. Bucks to the Super Bowl. Myers not lasting in Jacksonville. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, only time tells. So, I'm kind of 50-50 on it, being a good hire, not a good hire. I mean, for exactly what you guys said. So, all right. So, moving on to our next amazing topic today. I believe it is, yes, Deshaun Watson. Troubles in Houston, wants out. There's been a lot of talks or rumors, I should say. So, Landon, give us your thoughts on Watson and possibility landing spots.
He's a fantastic quarterback. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball. That's exactly what you got to do anymore in the NFL. I think teams like the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Panthers, the Broncos. There's a lot of teams that I could go on that need a quarterback. So, and we got a draft coming up, so we might see a quarterback swap as well as some picks. But I mean, he's a fantastic quarterback. Excuse me. But I like him going to the Dolphins here. I love Tua. I'm a Bama fan, but I think if the Dolphins want to get to where they want to be, they need to get Deshaun Watson, and they have the 3rd pick in the draft. But I'll talk about who I think they're going to get later. And if they can pair him up with Deshaun Watson, I think that could be very deadly, as well as Devontae Parker and Myles Gaskin. That offense would be pretty good. So I think Deshaun Watson would be a fantastic hire, or fantastic to sign, trade for in Miami. But it's a toss-up. I don't know where he's going to go.
Okay, Michael.
Let's
hear it.
I got a different take on this. And I was thinking about it too. I'm watching all the potential places he could go and things of that nature. Now I'm seeing. I think of things from a management perspective, and I think he's going to stay.
Oh.
I think he's going to stay.
Well, okay.
Now, I'm going to tell you what.
Okay, let's hear why.
Let me tell you why before you come at me. Let me tell you why. All right. First of all, you got a transcendent talent, and players like him don't come through very often. I would think it would be to their best interest to do whatever they can to keep him. Yes, he wants to go. We already know he wants to go. Just because you want to go doesn't mean you're going to go. You understand what I'm saying? So I think if I were them to take, I would do everything in my power to keep him in there. So my guess is I think he's going to stay.
All right.
I know I'm going to rock the world on that, but I think he's going to stay.
Go ahead, Landon, before I say anything. Go ahead.
So I think if you're the front office of the Texans, you're going to want this guy to stay. Like you said, he's a once-in-a-decade talent. I mean, he's fantastic. He's dual threat. That's what you need anymore. But let's be honest, he's going to bring a toxic vibe to the locker room because he wants out. He doesn't want to be there. So what's the point in having a quarterback that's fantastic that doesn't want to be there? He's not going to put in the full effort. I'm not saying he's going to pull like a James Harden. No, I'm leaving it to you, trade me. But I mean, I'd rather have a second string quarterback who wants to be there than a guy like Deshaun Watson who doesn't want to be there. He's not going to put 110% out on the field. He's not going to leave it all on the field, and he's just going to bring a toxic vibe to the locker room. So I think you get rid of him just for your team and your locker room, and it goes back to the front office. And your quarterback is where you need to have stability. So if they can get somebody else in there that wants to be there, that wants to grow this team from the bottom up, then they need to do that, and they need to get Watson out of there for their sake.
All right, but Landon, check it out, Landon. Check this out.
Go ahead.
You mean to tell me you don't think it can be worked out?
No, I don't.
You don't think so? You don't think that they're going to sit down with his representatives and they can work it out to make, because obviously there's some issues. What if they can work out those issues? You don't think he could stay there?
They traded away his best receiver, the best receiver in the league.
I know that. That's true. That's
no receiving core. Their line is not very good. Their defense, they're just all over the place. They don't have anything to support him. So he's wasting his time there. He needs help. And if he goes to Miami or a team like that, then they can help him there. But I would rather have him out and have a happy locker room where everybody can get along. That's just my take on it. It's not going to work out. He's going to be like, well, give me D-Hop back. Give me, everybody that you've traded away back. And it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Landon. I mean, yeah, management, you're going to want the talent there. No, there's no doubt about that. But in the locker room, what's it going to be like? I mean, yeah, you traded away all his best parts. I mean, so I think he'll be out probably later, probably closer to the draft.
Yeah.
I could see possibly the Saints stepping in, depending on what Breeze does. Maybe the Colts, because they got, two older quarterbacks, that, time's just ticking. I honestly would not be surprised to see a team like New England make a move.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was just going to say that.
But again, there are teams. Yeah, I mean, like Landon said earlier, I mean, there's a lot of teams that can make a move. Honestly, I wish the Vikings would get rid of our quarterback and make a move for Watson. I know there's probably a couple Bear fans that wouldn't mind Watson being there. Maybe Seattle could shake it up and get rid of Wilson and bring Watson in. I mean, who knows? I mean, what's that?
I'd rather have Watson over Russell Wilson for our future.
Oh, really? I was only joking. I thought I'd get you going, but
I said that. Deshaun Watson had a better year in 2020 than Russell Wilson did in 2020, and Russell Wilson has better weapons. Deshaun Watson's best receiver was out the last half of the season, and he still managed almost 5,000 yards. So I'd rather have Deshaun Watson for the future and for now, because he's better now and he'll be better in the future.
Wow, I was actually trying to troll you to see if I can get you going, but wow, God, I am really shocked this morning. All right, so I guess Kaiman thinks he might stay there, and me and Landon thinks he's going to be shipped out to whichever team can pay that nice sum they want. So, all right, so next slide there, please, Nate. All right. Top 5 picks for the prediction for the mock draft. So we know the order, I believe, is Landon. I actually don't know 3 and 4 actually. So why don't you give me the top 5?
Okay. Number 1, the Jags. I got them taking Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's fantastic. Okay. He's the best QB prospect since Andrew Luck. And then I got the Jets number 2 pick, taking the tackle from Oregon. I'm not even going to attempt his name because I know I'm going to butcher it. But he's the best offensive lineman prospect I've seen in a long time. So, number 3, the Dolphins. It's Houston's pick, but there was a trade. Devontae Smith out of Alabama, the Heisman winner. I think he goes to the Dolphins. And earlier I was saying if Deshaun Watson goes to Miami, that'd give him a great weapon with Devontae Parker and Myles Gaskin there. The Falcons, I got them taking a quarterback to replace Matt Ryan or sit under Matt Ryan for a year, and that's Justin Fields. Number 5, the Bengals. I got them taking Jamar Chase from LSU. He'll have that bond with Joe Burrow as he played with him for a year or two. 2 years. No, 1 year. Excuse me. He's a fantastic receiver. You know, he opted out of the season, but we probably could have seen him in the Heisman talk. So that's my top 5. I think it'll be a really interesting draft because I'm sure there's going to be trades in the top 10.
Okay. So, Michael, what do you think? Any predictions for the top 5 picks there, or
I got caught me off guard on that one. I wasn't prepared for those questions. I got caught off guard. But anyway, I kind of like what Landon said, but I think Devontae Smith. Where you got him going?
And number 3 to the Dolphins.
Ah, okay. The top 3, I agree with him. Definitely on the top 3. Again, coming off guard on that one.
Number 4, you got the Falcons picking. Number 5, you got the Bengals.
I have to think about that a little bit more, guys. You caught me off guard.
No, that's okay. But no, I actually like the way Landon's thinking there. Especially with number 5 pairing up the receiver with his old quarterback. I mean, that's always nice to have. I know Mr. Coach Cam would be happy seeing probably that.
Oh yeah.
I do feel Trevor Lawrence is number 1. Any chance that Myers and the Jacksonville can shock us and take that tackle, build the offensive line, or take Smith? I mean, do you guys see that happening? Or
if they do that, I will be so mad for that organization because it's already a dumpster fire, and their quarterback position is it's terrible. And if they don't take Trevor Lawrence, I'm gonna feel so sorry for Jags fans. That'd be so.
I think Jackson was definitely going to take Lawrence. I mean, it's a wrap. I think it's a done deal. I don't think they're going to do any crazy moves. You know what I mean? Especially we got Maya coming on. I don't think it's going to be. They're not going to do anything crazy. I don't think. I think they're going to go with Lawrence. I think that's a definite.
I mean, I agree. I mean, but I know everybody's just 100% that Lawrence is going number 1. I just thought I'd throw a different spin on it. I'd be shocked too. I mean, unless they, get something in return for that number 1, maybe move out. But I don't think that's happening. Like you guys said, it's a dumpster fire. Fire everyone. But I mean, you got to start somewhere. Maybe Myers' outlook is a little different on how to start a team than the organization. But again, we got 2-3 months down the road until we got the draft. I mean, so which team in the top 5, since we're talking to them right now, could opt out and trade out of that pick? Michael, which top 5 teams do you think, or one of the top 5s, would trade out of their pick? Who do you see doing that?
I don't see any of them on the top 5. I don't see any of them. I don't. Absolutely not. I don't.
Okay, Landon, how about you, bud?
If it's just for picks, I'm gonna have to go with the Falcons. I think they could trade back to possibly that 8-9 Panthers Broncos. They move up to get a quarterback, and the Falcons could drop back and still get a guy like Zach Wilson or Trey Lance. But the Dolphins also, I think if there's a trade with Deshaun Watson, that number 3 pick would be involved. So, I mean, they would probably have to give that the number 3 pick and Tua, I'd say, for Deshaun Watson. And so the Dolphins, I guess, is really the only one. If there's a Deshaun Watson trade, if there's not a Deshaun Watson trade, I think the Falcons will trade that pick away.
Okay, yeah. The early reports is that Houston wants a lot. I think like 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a Pro Bowl caliber player, I think, is just the minimum that they want for Watson. So I always said that, and this was when the Jets were 0 whatever, that if they got the first pick, they should have traded it. I kind of still think the Jets should trade. There's so much of a mess there, good assets. But I don't think that's happening. I think they're going to go tackle there. But yeah, I think Atlanta. I think Atlanta would be the team to make a move, bounce, drop back, get some picks from a team that needs a quarterback, and they move up to take Fields. So, but again, we got 2-3 months to break all this down and hopefully get a clearer picture the closer we get. But we all know that the NFL, when it comes to the draft, we never know what's for sure. So,
Hey, Landon, how many years does Watson have left on his contract?
I don't know. Hold on, let me take.
I don't think it's much. Actually, might be 3 years still, because didn't he sign a big one a few years ago?
Okay. All right. He's got 4 years, I think, is what it says here.
Okay.
So, yeah, as of September 5th, 2020, it's 4 years.
Because there was a question earlier that if he would go to maybe New England. New England is not paying anybody that kind of money. We already know how Bill Belichick is. There's no way he's going to pay him that kind of money. So whichever team he goes with, they're going to have the salary cap space in order to get him, or trades. Or I can't see New England getting them. Not at all. I would like to, but as far as finance is concerned, I don't see it. I don't see how they can do it.
Yeah, we know the NFL is, all weird, and we think they go one way and they go another way.
Yeah,
they do what they say. I mean, I do. When it comes to, I would say probably NFL offseason is probably the most fun for me. Just listen to all the rumors, listen to the trades and predictions, and then when it comes to draft, it seems like it all gets blown up within like 2-3 picks, and because you always got the Cleveland Browns that seem to shank their pick somehow, and so. But with that being said, I believe that is our last topic for football. I could be wrong. So, and before we move on to our next topic, any last thoughts on today's games or anything we talked about? Landon, I'll go with you first.
No, I'm just excited to watch the Browns. I really hope they can beat the Chiefs. But
Okay, yeah. I think that's going to be one heck of a game. Don't get me wrong. How about you, Michael? Anything you want to touch on before we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, Landon don't have to worry about hope. Browns will win. Yeah, they're going to win. I'm letting y'all know they will win.
All right. So we'll definitely be watching that game. And again, I would love to see the Browns do it. I just think Kansas City's weapons are just going to be too much. But hey, it ain't going to shock me. Don't get me wrong. So with that being said, so all our viewers know, as the NFL season winds down, we are going to start transitioning into our MLB show. Right now, we're trying to come up with the name and how we're going to run things, but this spot will be for the MLB show. And if I'm wrong, I will correct myself next week, but that's the understanding I'm getting. So with our first topic, we're going to just slowly break into the MLB. So the first topic we got, Nate, is the biggest moves in MLB so far this year. So, of course, we got the big trade, the All-Star from Cleveland, Lindor, going to the Mets. Michael, what do you think on that trade? Does that what's that give for the Mets there?
Well, a lot of teams are trying to, make all these big trades and make these big things. I don't know how much of an effect it will have. I mean, obviously the Mets are very happy with what they're doing, but I think time will tell. I'm not really great on it, to be honest with you. I'm not really feeling it too well too far. I don't know what you guys think, but I think the money was way too much. That's for me. But what do y'all think?
Yeah. How about you, Landon?
I think, MLB, you can't really make a prediction for the World Series. Like, I'm looking at the slide, because it goes all over the place. I mean, honestly, a team can start off with 10 losses and then come back and win and make the World Series. I mean, the Nationals had a terrible start a few years back, and they won the World Series. So, with this trade, obviously it brings the Mets more star power, but I hope they have a bright future. I hope they start winning again, because I miss when they used to win. They beat the Royals. No, they played the Royals a few years back and lost that. But I like to see them win. I like to see the New York teams do good. So I hope they have a bright future. It's so hard to tell in the MLB because it's a toss up. Every team is a toss up.
Yep. Yeah, no, I was actually kind of shocked that this trade even went to the Mets.
Yeah,
I thought for sure it would have been the other New York team, wheeling and dealing,
that would have been
but
scary.
it would have been, and I can't stand the Yankees. I can respect the talent and tradition they got there, but I mean, I'm so tired. It's kind of like or Pats thing. It's they are there all the time, but yet nobody can stop them. Um,
Oh,
I
they
don't
can be
know.
stopped.
I mean,
They can be stopped. They get stopped.
well, but they go out there and they
They're
spend and
good.
spend and reload.
They're good.
So I mean, they make it hard for the smaller markets. But yeah, Landon, you're dead on. I mean, to predict the World Series this year, even going into next year, yeah, do I see them in the World Series or in the picture? Probably. I mean, but again, one day at a time, it can all change. I mean, you got X amount of days until the first pitch is thrown, and like you said, 10-game losing streak, you're out of the playoffs. The following month, you have a 10, 15-game winning streak, you're back in it. I mean, baseball's a long season, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. So,
Yeah.
any other moves that kind of stood out to you? I know the Atlanta Braves made quite a few pitching moves, and for me, not being a Braves fan, but I think the Braves are going to be a tough one with that staff kind of emulating the 90s staff that they had with Maddox, Glavine, and Smoltz. Michael, what do you think on the Braves? What do you think their moves?
To tell you the truth, I haven't really studied them because I'm so entrenched in the NFL and the NBA right now. But I'm sure that they did what they felt that they needed to do. After coming off the year like they did last year, I think they made the right moves so far, and like time will tell. They're going to shorten down the preseason, and another big thing is the salary cap too. So teams are making moves to try to stay under the 210 million salary cap like the Yankees are. But it's going to be interesting. I'll say that. What do you think?
Yeah. What about you, Landon? I mean,
I mean,
I know we're just kind of touching base on it. So
we saw this last year. They were up 3-1, I think. They were getting ready to go to the World Series, and then it just goes down, and then the Dodgers beat them. So this team, they're always not always. They've been terrible, but the past, I mean, I'm just gonna say 2 years, they've been up there. We're looking at the Braves. This team's dangerous. What can they do? And they've made a lot of moves. So we'll see. Like I said just a minute ago, only time will tell. We can't say anything. The Reds can come out and win the World Series. You just don't know. So it's a toss up. It's too early.
What y'all think about the Yankees?
They're trash. The Yankees, he said. What do you think of the Yankees? Landon, you're a New York guy, so what's your breakdown on the Yankees? I mean,
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh.
Yep.
They're good. I mean, they got a lot of talent. If they could have got Lindor, that team, I would have had them at the top of the preseason or like spring training, rankings. But they didn't get him. But they're still.
They just signed Kluber, I think, too, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so. So they're talented all over the place. They're well-rounded, and we can see them make a run like we do every year. But we just will they choke? Will they not? I don't know. And it's too early to say anything. So.
Yep. No, for me, it always comes down to Yankees Twins in the series or in the playoffs somehow, and the Yankees have owned the Twins like who knows? I mean, it's just ridiculous numbers. I mean, so for me, I always want to see the Yankees lose. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, they got the talent. They're always in it. I can always see them. I can see them making the World Series. I can see them crashing, like Landon said. But I think baseball's best when you got the New York market in there. You got the California market, the Los Angeles market in there. Texas to a point. I mean, So
Hey, don't forget Boston now. Don't forget Boston.
Yeah, Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. When the ratings are good, it's because Boston and the Yankees,
Yes.
the Dodgers. I mean,
Yes.
those teams are doing good. I mean, yeah, I like the underdogs. The Rays of a few years ago, the Royals, my Twins. The Blue Jays. I think are going to be a stud this year. The Padres. Padres were a couple games away from making that series too, and they just went out and they got Snell from the Rays, and then they went and traded for I think it was Darvish. I think from the Cubs.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that was. I'm a Cubs fan, so that was.
So they got. I believe they got the winner of the Cy Young and the runner up of the Cy Young in their respective leagues. So the Padres are going to be solid. I mean, I'm not going to say that they're my pick to go, but I mean, we'll see. You can't, but they got to be a favorite, especially with that young core that they got with Tatis Jr. and Machado and all those guys. They, for a while there, I was calling them the Slam Diego Padres because all they did was hit slams all the time. So.
Hey guys, I got a question. I got a question for you guys.
Yeah, what's up?
You guys are the baseball guys. You already know I'm not, but I mean, I do have a question that I want to get some knowledge from you guys. And how much emphasis do you place on analytics in baseball? By that, and here's what I mean. The World Series last year, I guess I forgot the name of the pitcher's name, but they came out with after 6 innings exactly. And it was a detriment to when he was on the road. How much emphasis do you guys put on analytics as far as baseball is concerned?
Landon, you start with that because I know I'm probably going to be the oddball. So Landon, you go ahead.
I don't really understand the question, but I'm going to go off what I think. So, are you asking how much do numbers base on the team? Like, ask your question, Brandon. Go ahead, so I can understand.
Okay. So he's talking about Moneyball pretty much, on the analytics of the sport. Do you take a pitcher out at a certain pitch count, or to me, I'm old school. I say you ride it out. That pitcher's you pitch a good game.
Thank you.
They've gotten away from a lot of the old school style. They don't bunt that much. They're hardly doing hit and runs. It's all about the show. It's all about the numbers. It's all about power. Pitching. The shift. I kind of wish they go back to old school. I mean, the bunting. Because I tell you what, if analytics played a part back in '91, we probably would not have seen the best pitch game World Series in Game 7 ever by Jack Morris. I mean, he went 10 innings, and probably one of the best games I've seen in a long time for the World Series. So I think analytics plays a big part, and I don't like it. So
yeah.
All right, Landon, what do you got?
Yeah, I like how it is now. I love the big hits. I like seeing balls just go flying out of the park. But that's what I've grown up around. Like you said, that's what it is anymore. So yeah, I don't. I like it how it is now. But if I look back and watch how it used to be, I'm sure I might have a different stance. But I've grown up around the big hits, trying to hit the ball into the river out of stadium. So I don't know.
No,
maybe I look.
I get that. I mean, don't get me wrong. The big bombs are always nice to see how far those balls can fly. I ain't gonna dock that. But when it comes to game managing and making calls, I mean, analytics have to go out the door. I mean, that's kind of why I'm kind of intrigued on the White Sox, because they brought back an old school coach in La Russa. So I want to see how he's going to manage the White Sox his way, or is going to
the way. So save all that for in just a second, because we get a White Sox slide.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you had another slide. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll save that one. All right, go ahead. Let's move on to the next slide then. All right. So He's been one of the stud closers in the last couple of years. I believe he also played for the Twins. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he
You
did.
know, there's been so many moves in baseball that it's hard to keep track. So, but Landon, being a solid closer, I mean, what do you
Yes.
think? Is he going to be? Is it going to help the? Is it going to help the Sox here?
I mean, they're stacked on paper. This team is probably one of the best. Um, and having a good closer is the key, right? Because if you have a lead, one-run lead, you want to bring in a guy who you know is going to strike out the side, or or have pop outs, ground outs. So I think this is a fantastic signing, and it'll definitely help his team come to the World Series contender. But like I said, it's too early. We'll see how this team works together. And baseball's a team sport. You can't put it all on one guy to do good. So we got to see what'll happen if the field's good enough that he can put it where the ball can be in play, or if he needs to try to strike them out. So, I think this is fantastic. Like it says there, he's been one of the best closers in baseball the last couple of years.
Yep.
So, it's if you have a good closer, you got to have a good field, because you never know when a ball can put in play and there needs to be action in the infield, outfield, wherever. So yeah, I mean, I think this is fantastic. If the White Sox go in, like I said, with a one-run lead, bottom ninth, they're going to need a good closer to come in and finish it out. So I think this is a fantastic signing. I think the White Sox, on paper, like I said, that they're definitely a World Series contender. But it's too say legit.
Yep. Okay, Mr. Old School. Here you go. What do you think?
Hey, I'm gonna go with Aussie Lane's done his homework. I'm just familiar with him right now. I don't know too much about him, so I'm gonna roll with Landon on this one. I don't really know much about him. So
he's good.
What do you think?
He's good.
Yeah, I mean, he's legit. Like Landon said, I mean, we all know that a closer can make or break a game.
Yes.
Yankees were blessed to have Rivera there forever. I mean, I don't think he pitched anything but the ninth inning, eighth inning, roughly. But yeah, if you got a solid closer, one-run lead, I mean, you're pretty much solid. I mean, it's golden that you're going to win. So, but going back to La Russa, I mean, again, is he going to use the analytics, or is he going to go with what he knows? And so the White Sox are definitely, a team that I watch because they play the Twins, but I'm definitely going to have some interest in them this year to see what kind of baseball we get from them. So, but all right. So, Landon, you did the slides. I don't think we had any more topics unless you popped one in there.
Nope. That's it.
All right. So, any final thoughts on this weekend's games, or something you guys could predict that we'll see next week? Landon, how about you? You go first there, young gun.
Well, like I said, Tampa's to the Super Bowl, but that AFC side's a real toss-up, so I'm excited to see. Michael's got the Browns winning. Do you think they can beat the Bills? I don't know. We'll see. But we got a lot in there. But I want to say something real quick. We got a debate going on right after this. It's a triple threat. J-Mac, Ace, and Nate. He's backstage, so you'll be able to catch that. I'm assuming it'll be 12:30 Eastern.
I can check that out.
So we'll have that going. But yeah, I'm excited to watch football today. I'm excited to watch any football. I don't care who's playing. So it'll be some good games. I hope the Browns can keep it close or win the game. I'm a Browns fan, so I root for the underdogs all the time. So hopefully the Browns maybe stun the Bills. Could you imagine if they make the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that would be something. All right. Well, I like that pick. I'm not a Green Bay fan, but
we all know.
Well, no, I got some family members who are, and one recently passed away, so I am dedicating hopefully the Green Bay Super Bowl to her. So that's one reason why I go for the Packers this year, because of her. So,
but if Tampa gets home field advantage for the Super Bowl,
yeah, no kidding.
That would be something. Yeah. That would be.
That when I made my hot take earlier, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl is in Tampa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Wow. All right. So,
no, change my mind a little bit. I might.
The NFL, no NFL teams has hosted the Super Bowl. I think the closest was the Niners back when they made their run. I know the Vikings had a shot a couple years ago to host their own Super Bowl, but so far no team's done that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yes, please tune in later today. Like Landon said, you got Nate the Great versus the Barber Brothers, Ace and J-Mac. That should be a great debate.
Yes.
I heard some of the topics. I think they kind of favor the Barber Brothers. I don't know who came up with those, but Nate, I hope you do good because we want the underdogs to win. And I know, like I said, I heard the topics and I kind of put you at the underdog. So I hope you win. I know we got more great debates going on. We will release the brackets hopefully this week after the debate.
I think tonight. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And then also tonight, we're going to have our pregame show in between the games, I believe, covering the first game and then breaking down the second game. And then also tonight, 9 o'clock Central, or 10 o'clock Central, I believe actually it is, we go between the ropes with Ace and his crew, talk a little wrestling tonight. So tune into that. It's always a great show. With that being said, I'm Brandon. That's Landon. Comment Michael. We'll get a returning Mr. Mess Around next week, hopefully, if everything goes well. But with that being said, enjoy today. We'll check you guys all out next week. Have a good one.
See ya.
Okay.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.